Hey!
Hey, I'm CJ,
And I'm Robin.
and welcome to the Cozy Kitchen.
Come and make yourself comfortable here with us by the fire.
Let's chat about baking, friendship, and cozy hobbies. And if there's time and enough tea, maybe we'll even unravel some traumatic backstories.
There should always be enough tea.
Hey, Robin, how are you doing?
Hi, CJ. I'm good. How you doing?
Good. I'm really excited about today's topic.
Yes, do tell.
Yes, we are going into our favorite kitchen tools.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. And I like to think back to a couple episodes ago where we talked about our dream kitchens. So I'm
Mhm.
like picturing myself in like my beautiful Studio Ghibli inspired kitchen with the stained glass and the beautiful everythings and the
Yep.
antiques all over the place. And like this is where I am, and and remind us of which kitchen you are imagining yourself in as we go through this episode.
Yes, so yeah, back to our ideal kitchen. Mine is more white and sterile.
You've got yourself just like one of those amazing like test kitchens like for actual true chefs. Like the one, I don't know if you've seen him, but he's this guy, he's like a chocolatier, and like
Mhm.
he was on social media a lot of a few years ago, and he made these absolutely stunning works of art, and that's the kind of kitchen I am picturing you in.
Yes, so we are both in our little happy place. So
Mhm.
tell me, what is one kitchen tool that you just cannot live without? You almost use it every day.
Every single day. Oy gewalt. Yeah, that's it would be my oven, but if we're because I bake all the time and it's real hard to bake if you don't have an oven. But that is such a basic answer. It's duh, of course it's the oven. And I've only ever really worked with the ovens that I had. I've only ever really lived either at home or in an apartment, and in both cases I didn't have the any real say over which oven I was using. That's a stupid basic answer. I'm not going with that answer. I would like to say probably my KitchenAid stand mixer, and I will say it with a caveat because I was hesitant to use it, especially with bread making.
Hmm.
I, for whatever reason, wanted to try baking bread without a stand mixer at first because I wanted to get a feel for what the dough needed to actually feel like whenever it was properly kneaded. And kneading dough by hand is very difficult. And when you are first learning how to make bread, you don't know what you're looking for. Like you could like I watched so many videos and I listened to so many people talk about what you're supposed to look for. And at the end of the day, having a stand mixer actually knead the dough for me and get it to the point where you actually did see the dough spring back when you touched it, or you could do the window pane test. Like I needed it as a tool to help me get to where I needed to be. My KitchenAid, I love her. She's red and she's
Awesome. Yes,
beautiful.
yes. You cannot live without a stand mixer. I certainly cannot.
Yeah.
But we're talking about so the two tools that you've just mentioned, those are
Mhm.
power tools. I'm
Mhm.
thinking, what are ones that are not powered?
Ooh, okay. Let me ask you this. Okay. When you say powered, does that mean that it has to have electricity to work?
Yes.
Okay, because my other answer is going to be the kitchen scale, and
Mhm.
that has really amplified my confidence in baking.
Mhm.
But can't if it can't be electrical,
It's so interesting that thinking like I feel like you have a high-tech bent too, actually.
a little
Like,
bit. It's
yeah.
just easier in some
Mhm.
ways. It's just easier to have more high tech kind of things. Like I was watching Binging with Babish, which is a YouTube channel that I like to watch, and he actually has some pretty high tech stuff, and he uses this thermometer that actually you can poke it into, and I think this is more for meats. I don't know if he uses it as much for things like bread or like different baking, but he has a thermometer and he can put it into the thing that he's cooking or baking as it's in the oven, and then he can on a monitor that
Hmm.
sits outside of the oven, he can keep track of the internal temperature of the thing.
Hmm.
So that it's stuff like that is very cool. I think it elevates the whatever you're cooking or baking. But this caveat that you have presented of how it cannot be electric.
Yes.
Okay. All right. All right. I know it. I know her. I love her. My mom got me a spatula. And I love this spatula. It's one of the rubber ones and it's called mix it, and there's a little saying on it, it says mix it up.
Hmm.
And it's from Cake Boss because like it's from their line of baking equipment because we
Hmm.
used to watch Cake Boss all the time as kids. And to this day, she got it for me like years ago. And to this day, it is one of my most used kitchen tools because the handle is firm, it's steady, it fits well in my hand. I feel like I'm in control of things when I'm using it. I feel like I've got a steady hand on things. And to this day, I consider it almost my lucky charm whenever I'm making a whole lot of bakes that require like that
Hmm.
rubber spatula to mix things around because that's the one that I always go for. I don't know why. But yeah, that one I think would be the most used. And now that I have presented my argument, what is your most used? And I want to hear like electrical and non-electrical, which
Okay.
so one of each since I gave
Yeah.
one of each.
Yeah. I'll have the two categories. So the non-powered one, it is actually the spatula too for me.
Oh my gosh, I feel so seen.
So I don't think you can bake without one. If you're gonna
Mhm.
make a dessert, like it, you have to have it to like scrape the sides of the bowl. Like
Yeah.
you just need it. So that would be number one. Other kitchen tools that are not powered, I'm just going through the not powered one. I like a good strainer.
Oh, yes. That's a good one.
Yes, that one just mine's like I've got several. It's just like stainless steel and like I put it through a lot.
Whenever you're straining stuff, because like I think I've seen the question before from people who don't bake a whole lot, but whenever you are, first of all, are you talking about like a sifter or are you talking about something like a strainer, like you're washing off like fruit or something?
Both. So
Okay.
I have the ones that you could sift as well, and I like using that for maybe I'm sifting powdered sugar, if I'm sifting flour to get out the clumps, or just dusting cocoa powder on anything.
Mhm.
That I like using, and I have different sizes. Like I have ones that are much bigger and ones that are smaller, just like for a cup almost. It's just tiny
Yeah.
little finishing touches. The other one that's more for washing fruit and stuff, that one I use for things like if I'm gonna make a vegetable broth or something from scratch,
Mhm.
then I'm using that to strain out all the things that like the onions and the garlic and strain those aromatics out. And that's just super useful for making the broth clear.
Okay. I like that. Let me ask you this too. Do you ever, instead of a strainer, do you use cheesecloth? Because I found that cheesecloth is also uh, I wouldn't say it's one of my most used kitchen tools, but when I need to use it, it is very helpful to have.
Yes, I absolutely use the cheesecloth, and it's often in conjunction with that strainer.
Okay, okay, because it's
Yeah.
yeah, it really helps a lot. And let me like so you use yours for veggie stock, you said?
Mhm. Yep.
Okay, because I feel like that and it's so nice because it's like it gets out all that good juicy juice and but it's also it doesn't compromise on a whole lot either.
Yeah.
Because I if I'm gonna use it, I use it for my latkes. So if
Oh.
I'm like grating the potatoes,
Uh-huh.
you in order for the latkes to be super crispy, you want
Mm.
those freshly grated potatoes to be as dry as you can get them. And cheesecloth does such a good job in a way that like paper towels don't do it.
Uh,
Like you could argue that you would get the same result with maybe like a dishcloth or something,
uh-huh.
but then your dishcloth is stained a little bit.
Mhm.
And I don't know, I feel like cheesecloth is just it's finer. and
Mhm.
it really does get out all that water.
Yeah,
So
yeah, I that's so interesting. I've never made latkes, and that's a great tip. I think I it makes me wanna try making them.
they're honestly, they're hash browns. They're so easy to make, and if you ever want a good recipe, let me know because not to brag, but I've been making latkes for a while now.
So
They're
that's
delicious.
interesting. How do you shred them? That's another
Uh,
cool.
yeah, actually, that's true, that's true. It depends on how lazy I'm feeling and how much energy I have, but if I'm really feeling lazy and or if I have a lot of people that I would like to feed sooner rather than later, I will get out my Cuisinart and just shred them that way because that
Uh-huh.
makes it super, super easy. I
Mhm.
also have just grated them by hand because
Mhm.
I hate myself. And that's and sometimes this is gonna sound so weird, and let me know if this happens to you too. Sometimes I will be simultaneously so lazy because I don't wanna clean a whole Cuisinart,
Yep.
but also using the grater is so much more taxing, but I don't wanna clean. It's like I'm lazy in one way and super motivated in another. Does this happen to you as well?
Yes, absolutely. I'm always thinking about, okay, if I'm trying to make something and it requires so kind of like make sure that a tool is used more than once in my cooking. So,
Yes.
if I need the food processor for more than one dish, then it comes out, and I'm looking at my dishwasher, and I'm saying, "Okay, I have space for it." So, yeah, I totally have that same problem too, so I will make myself miserable just so that I don't have to clean later.
Because it does matter, like, my worst nightmare is, like, trying to make something that is a multi-step, a meal or dish, and then by the end of it, just having a whole big sink piled high with dishes, and I will also say that for the Cuisinart, for, like, that anytime you wanna shred stuff or grate stuff in that those blades are insanely sharp, and
Mhm,
if you mishandle it, even for a split second, like, it sucks, like, you get the worst cut ever, and, like, and speaking of kitchen tools, that's one of the big reasons why I will never ever purchase a mandolin. I have seen too many
mhm.
horror stories. Every single time I have heard about somebody using one of those, it ends in disaster, emergency room visits, and I would just rather take my chances with just a good old fashioned knife. There is nothing in this world that I need to be sliced that thin. If I want something sliced that thin, I will just I will purchase it from a restaurant or get it from a store. I will have somebody else do it for me. I am not interested in all of that noise. What are your thoughts on the mandolin?
I agree with you 100%, and in fact, when I was working my stage, my internship at a restaurant, they also said the mandolin is one of the most dangerous tools out there. So that is confirmed, Sarah. You are right to be fearful of that thing. The
Okay, cool.
way
I'm glad
I that doesn't mean I
validated.
don't have one.
Oh no.
I own one, but the way I get around that is my husband, he bought me meat butcher gloves. So,
Oh.
they are, like, basically chainmail for your hands,
Mhm.
and when you're working on the mandolin, like, even if you do something wrong, it's just gonna hit the chainmail.
See, that is so freaking smart. I feel if I had that, and plus I think they also sell those hand guards and
Mhm.
everything, right? I feel if I had the gloves and if I had the hand guard on top of that, I would probably feel a little bit more confident in using it. But yeah, just it scares me. It scares me too much. And let me ask you this, how often have you used a mandolin? Like in all of your since you've gotten it, how often have you used it?
Not very often. It's a
Mhm.
pretty tasker. It just I don't need as you said, I don't need stuff sliced that thin. I think the last time I used it was probably slicing celery.
Oh, interesting. Celery. What do you remember what you were using it for?
Yeah, so the celery, when you slice it that thin and you
Mhm.
dunk it into ice water, it curls up in these really pretty way, and I wanted it for
Ooh.
a dish that I was making for, like, some dinner with friends or something, and I wanted to impress, so I made it so fancy and had the little celery that's, like, very
Oh
prettily
my
curled.
gosh. That's so cool. I didn't know that. I didn't know you could do that with celery.
Yeah, yeah, it gets very
That's
pretty.
that's so cool. Were you, like, slicing it, like, long ways, like, in ribbons, or was it, like, you were
Mhm.
you slicing it so that you got, like, that little horseshoe kinda shape?
Not the horseshoe shape, it is that l lengthwise.
Length. Okay, okay, very cool. That's awesome. I
Yeah.
did not know that celery could do this.
Yeah.
That's amazing. But yes, I feel like I will still be fearful of mandolins, but
Mhm.
this conversation's also making me realize that I need to sharpen my knives because I have not sharpened them in a long time. I don't even wanna say how long because it's embarrassing, but every time I go to cut up an onion or something,
Mhm.
like, I'm like, "Oh god, this is so dull." Like, I might as well be using a butter
Mm.
knife. So,
And that's
let me
dangerous, actually.
it is, it's more dangerous to use a dull knife
Mhm.
than a sharp one. And these are stainless steel knives. And actually, because I consider you more of an expert in this realm than me, how do you sharpen your knives? Because this is a kitchen chore that I absolutely cannot stand. And knives are definitely one of the tools that I use in my kitchen almost every day. So
Mhm.
help me. How do I sharpen these things?
So okay, so we have the device that's, like, actually powered, and they have so these knives have different angles, and you wanna make sure the type of knife you have is sharpened at the right angle. And I forget what the angles were, I'd have to look it up, but the one that we have, there's a two-phase thing, like, you just draw your knife through it, and it just the stones in there are at the right angles to sharpen it, and you draw it once in the first phase oh, a couple times in the first phase, and then a couple times in the second phase, and that's it for us, it's just fairly simple, you just run it through this machine.
Okay.
They do have ones that I know, like, a lot of professionals use the stick, and I don't know how to do that.
Yes.
That requires too much skill to for me, like, I like it dumbed down.
That's beyond my skill level for sure. And there's actually this one guy on YouTube, his YouTube channel is called June's Kitchen,
Mhm,
and he had a video go viral a few years ago where he took a really shitty dollar store knife or something,
mhm,
and he sharpened it because I think at one point he was maybe a chef or something at a very high-end restaurant in
mhm,
Japan, and so he knows all the ins and outs, and he used whetstones, and he used several
mhm.
different types of whetstones to sharpen this really shitty knife,
Yes,
and by the time he was done with it, it was so sharp, like, he could slice, like, pretty much anything to be paper thin.
yes, yep. That is the case with the sushi chefs that I worked with. They use the whetstone, and on top of the whetstone, guess what else they use? They spray a diamond solution onto the whetstone to
Oh,
sharpen
wow.
it. I was blown away how, like, anal retentive they are about their knives.
That makes sense though, because if you're gonna do, like, really good high-end sushi, like, you wanna
Mhm,
have the best knives because, like, you gotta slice stuff so thinly and, like, the decorations that sometimes, like, you see on some rolls of sushi are very intricate and beautiful. So, it's
yeah.
not surprising, but also holy shit.
Yes, and the test they do is they take a piece of, like, blank paper, and they use the knife to slice it, and it
Oh my
goes
gosh.
through it like butter.
Oh, like butter. I love it. Yeah, that's a great way to test that, and now I can't say that I want to sharpen my kitchen knives, but I know I need to.
So I have the power tool version, but, like, they have ones
Mm.
that are just manual, and it also that two-phase thing where you just
Yeah.
draw it through, and it just really dummy proof it.
I think that's what we have. I think we probably have one of those, and it's just a matter of just I just gotta do it. I feel like every start to the new year, well, I don't do New Year's resolutions necessarily. I do like to start the new year off with kind of a like a list of things that I want to do as an upkeep. Like that's like cleaning out my oven and I don't know, like a couple other things that I like to do
Mhm,
at the
mhm,
start of the year is like a bit of a refresh.
mhm,
And I think that this is going to be a thing that I add onto the list this weekend is
mhm.
just sharpening the ever loving crap out of these knives. 'Cause they're I like them and it was so sweet because my in-laws got them for us a while ago. So, yeah, and I miss them being sharp. I miss
Mhm.
that just like you said, like cutting everything through like butter sharpness.
Yeah.
I have to just do it. It's gonna be okay. You know what it is? It's the sound and it's the feeling of all that grit from the knife coming off. And
Ah.
I might just need to wear my noise canceling headphones while I do it because
Mhm.
something about it that just gives me the heebie-jeebies. I think my spicy brain just doesn't like it.
Oh, I see. Yeah, you may wanna just put earplugs on and just do it.
Go to town. I just maybe like, listen to a fun episode of something, I don't know.
Yeah, yeah.
But, okay, so for your list, did you cover electrical yet, or are you still on the non-electrical, non-powered items?
I think I'm still on non-powered 'cause there are so many, right? A standard baking tray, like, how can you live without
Mhm.
one, right? That's a
Yeah.
tool right there.
Let me actually ask you
Mhm,
this though, do you have you used a Silpat sheet
I have.
before?
Mhm,
'Cause
yes.
okay, 'cause I used one before and I feel so stupid because I accidentally used a knife on it once and then I couldn't I had to pitch it after that. But those are also wonderful
Yes.
tools.
Yeah, those are essential for desserts, I think, if you're baking a macaron or something. Like,
Mhm.
that
Yeah.
one like, I would actually because it's clear, I would actually print out, like, little circles so that when I'm piping the macarons, like, they're exactly the same shape.
That's so
Yeah.
smart.
So that's another great tool, especially for bakers. See, I cannot go without a cake pan. Cake pans and pie
Yes.
pans. Those 2 are essential.
Now, do you have the springform cake pan or do you prefer just the good old-fashioned regular cake pans?
I have increasingly liked just good old fashion like, I have both, but I
Mhm.
rarely use the spring form just because it's just more complicated, and once you master, like, how to, like, oil the pan and then dust it with sugar or flour, it comes
Mhm.
out just perfectly fine.
That's very true. And do you think it depends on the application as well? Because, like, I've heard some people say if they're baking cheesecakes, for instance, and they prefer the springform pan, but
Mm.
also, I don't know, I feel like yeah, for cheesecakes, I could understand it, but for just general, like, angel food cakes or for just regular chocolate cake or whatever it is, I feel like a regular cake pan would do fine.
Yes, I agree. You make a good point. I think if I were to make a cheesecake, I probably would use a springform pan. Yeah.
Just
Or if
easier
I'm
because it's
making, like, Chicago style deep dish, I would also use the springform.
Oh.
Yeah.
That is a good point. That is a good point. I feel like we should have a whole episode on pizza.
Yes. Oh my god, yes, we need to do an episode on pizza.
Yay. Oh, yeah, that one's coming up because everybody loves pizza. You can there's so many different kinds, you can do it so many different ways. But yes, that will be coming up in the future. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah. Gosh, now you're making me think of all kinds of cool kitcheny things. Actually, and let me ask you this. What are your thoughts on single-use kitchen items? The strawberry hullers or the
Mm.
like those gadgets where you can press them down onto an apple and it'll slice the apple into 8 different parts or something. What are your thoughts on single-use kitchen items?
I have been guilty of going down that rabbit hole of kitchen gadgets. "Ooh, this is a new object," and so you just get it, and then you get it, and it ends up being in your kitchen drawer and never getting used again. So I have increasingly try to avoid any gadgets that are single use.
I like that idea. And I'm very similar. I like to, first of all, I can't do clutter, and that includes on my shelves, on my walls, in the drawers of my kitchen. I need things to be like, okay, and that means that, like, I have several spatulas. I'll have several wooden spoons because those are very common. Those have multiple uses. But yeah, I'm with you. I can't do a whole lot of the single use items. So yeah, there are some good things out there, but I'm just like, I don't want to clog up my cabinets with a whole lot. I'd rather fill my cabinets with ingredients than with a lot of items that I might not even think to use all that often, really.
Yeah, yeah. One thing that I was surprised how much I used is a microplane.
A microplane. Oh, you mean like for like garlic or for nutmeg or things like that?
Yeah, yeah. That thing, I use it for almost everything, from like zesting lemons to, as you said, garlic. That one I use all the time. And the nutmeg, I love that thing. And like currently in my kitchen, I don't have one, and I'm always like, damn it.
You know what? We should go microplane shopping one of these days together, because I've also been thinking about getting one for my kitchen, because if I'm trying to zest an orange, and I really love using orange or lemon zest, or sometimes even grapefruit zest in my bakes, I'll have to grate the peel, and then I'll have to chop the peel and finally slice it up with a knife. But microplaning would just be so much easier, and it would avoid getting a lot of the bigger chunks of citrus zest in there.
Yeah.
So yeah, we should go. Why don't we go this weekend and we can go?
Yeah, I love
buy us some microplanes. Because they're not that expensive. Like they're a very common thing. Like it would be a good thing to have.
Yeah, will not regret owning one.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
So you mentioned like oven being your number one gadget, and I classified that as a powered one. So my reveal is a dishwasher. I love dishwashers, and I think this was already stated in my dream kitchen. That thing needs to be in there. I want more than one. It needs to be powerful.
Yes. Yeah, I love that. And yes, I do remember you were very excited about your dream kitchen with your multiple dishwasher.
Yeah.
But honestly, though, I get it, because when you're in your kitchen and you are cooking or baking up a storm, like the last thing that you want is like you've got stuff simmering on the stove, and you've got the sink that is full of dishes that are piling up. And it's just so nice to be able just to toss stuff into the dishwasher and say, bye, I'll see you when you come out the other side.
Yep. And like dishwasher acts as I don't know, like a trigger. If it's like full and ready to be like a cycle ready to start, then I will step back and say, okay, I've cooked enough, I need to take a break. And then when the dishwasher is back and clean, then I can come back and resume cooking.
That is such a smart idea, because like I know that I tend to get very carried away whenever I'm cooking or baking, and my ADHD brain is always, okay, the next thing, okay, the next thing, okay, the next thing. And it's so nice to have a little bit of an outward signal to your brain that's just, hey, you've been doing a lot, go take a rest, and you can come back to this whenever you're ready to come back to it. I think that's such a smart thing to do. I love that.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I like get into this like mode where I just want to do everything, but then like once like the dirty dishes pile up, then my other mode is, oh no, this is too much clutter and too much.
Yeah, it's eye static. I call it eye static. I don't know if that's like a thing. Yeah. But it's like my flavor of ADHD is not like I have trouble keeping things clean. Mine is actually the opposite. I cannot stand mess even a little bit. If there is a fork in the sink, I gotta clean it. If there's a glass in the sink, it's going in the dishwasher. Like, I have to clean as I go. I have to put stuff away immediately after I use it. I have to shut the doors of the cabinets right after I've opened them. I cannot operate in chaos because my brain is already chaotic, and if the outside is chaos too, I am doomed. And it really is extremely overstimulating for me to try to do something, especially if I'm cooking or baking something for the first time.
Mhm.
It's very overstimulating to try and focus on that while my brain is screaming at me to do something about the dishes in the sink, to wipe down the countertops, to close that cabinet door. Like, in order for me to fully focus on the task at hand, shit's got to be done. So that's why I think your dishwasher idea with having like a couple, that's just a good idea. That's just good sense.
Yes, thank you. Yes, and then in that category of power tools that I enjoyed, one of my other favorite ones is called a Hobo Coupe, and
Ooh.
it's a French brand that creates this amazing food processor. And when I say amazing, it will dice your food. Like, you can make diced potatoes, diced onion. So it was like you throw in an onion and it'll just come out diced.
What is this called again? I want to look this up now.
I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correctly. It's like Hobo Coupe. It's Robocoupe, I believe.
Oh, there it is. Ooh.
Yes.
Oh, she's beautiful, and she is a little rich for my blood. I don't know if I could.
My husband
I
got
have
it
to
for
say,
me
Bob.
for my birthday.
Oh, that's so sweet. This is an awesome tool, though. Holy cow.
Yes, and they use this commercially. That's the only reason why we knew about it, because we were there in the kitchen and we're like, holy crap, this thing just pumps out like food. It's clearly, you don't want humans to be dicing everything. You just put it into this machine and it will dice it and it'll slice it too. I make a really good like Vietnamese pickle that's radishes and carrots put in banh mi sandwiches. And this thing will make it perfectly shredded. Obviously, the standard ones will also shred as well, but this one, I really like the output of it.
Oh my gosh, that's so cool. Especially because it looks like it would just do everything so uniformly, and it just, I don't know, that would be so nice. And also, when you consider the amount of time that it takes to slice and dice like anything, especially the vegetables that are, you know, just harder, like sweet potatoes or radishes or anything like that, like the amount of time that takes is, it like, oh my gosh, that would save so much effort and time. Oh my goodness gracious.
Yes. So, something to save up for.
Yes, absolutely. Especially, and that's the thing, talk about a tool that doesn't just, it's not just a one-trick pony. Like, it can do a lot of things and it can do it very well. I feel like this would definitely be a really good investment to make. My only question is it easy to clean? Because it scares me to see something that would be like this level of an expense, and I would be terrified of trying to clean it and accidentally breaking it.
It is meant for commercial kitchens, so you just throw it in the dishwasher.
Wait a second. You can just throw it in the
Yeah.
and it doesn't like dull the blades, it doesn't like do any.
I haven't had any problems with that.
I'll be. Ain't that just the way? Okay, I'm sold. I'm sold on it.
Yes, I'm glad. And I guess the other, let's see, we covered stand mixers, right? So
Yes.
that one's definitely up there. Do you have an immersion blender?
I do, and I love her very much. She's the same color as my stand mixer, and yeah, just I love making soups with her. She is just, it's so much easier than being like, hey, here's this piping hot soup. I'm gonna pour it into the food processor.
Yes.
What about you? You use yours a lot?
Yeah, I love that thing too. It's just so convenient. You just stick it in a pot and just making it.
Yeah, it's wonderful. I love using it for any kind of like broccoli cheddar kind of soup or any kind of like a loaded baked potato soup or anything like that. It is so nice. And actually, my partner, he's been cooking more recently as well. He's been doing a lot more like Indian food with the Zareen's cookbook that you got.
Oh, awesome.
So he made chicken tikka masala last week, and he made another dish that was also very good. And for the chicken tikka masala, he used the immersion blender to blend the sauce and get it
Nice.
really nice and creamy. And it was really good. He is a very good cook.
Oh, I'm glad you guys are using that.
It is very good. And I told him that I want to attempt dog paneer because that's another recipe in the cookbook. And I tried making it once before, but I didn't use that recipe. So I'm
Mm.
gonna repeat myself. I'm gonna go to the Indian grocery store that we have nearby and I'm gonna get some paneer and I'm gonna get the goods that we need and I'm gonna make it delicious.
Oh, awesome. You'll have to send me pictures.
Yes, I will.
What are your thoughts on air fryers?
I've never used it. I've never used an air fryer before,
Huh.
so I don't really know if I have an opinion. I think that I will say I don't think I would ever go and purchase one because an oven does just the same stuff, I guess. As far as I know, it's just an air fryer is just a smaller convection oven, if I'm understanding it
Mhm,
correctly.
mhm,
And
mhm.
I guess I would just rather use an oven. What are your thoughts?
So I was in the same boat as you up until maybe last weekend when I used an air fryer.
Really?
So it's crazy, like, my family, like, they are kitchen gadgets galore, like, they will hop onto the next kitchen the latest and greatest, and so my mom had been using the air fryer for the longest time, probably, like, at least a decade or so, like, basically since they came out with them, and I was always like, "This is just another oven, like, why would I get this thing? It's just a toaster
Mhm.
oven." But I recently made it was this, like, Asian pancake. It was bought from, like, a Korean grocery store and is frozen, and you typically pan fry this thing, but I threw it in the air fryer, and it came out better than I expected, and that wouldn't have happened in a toaster oven. I think the
Ah.
convection just really works better than your standard convection oven. It's just too big of a air like, volume inside that space where
Mhm.
in a tiny air fryer, it just goes through the air, like, it blows air more frequently, and apparently there is, like, a study recently that air fryers have less fat than, like, f actual frying, so it's, like,
Interesting.
healthier.
Mhm. You know what? Okay, alright. You've convinced me on this one too. I would give it a try. I don't know if I would ever actually own one, but you know what? I get it. I get it
Yeah,
now.
yeah, me too, and I agree, like, I still don't think I'll buy one, but I believe
Mhm.
it.
Yeah, yeah, and that's the thing is, like, you don't know what you don't know, and if you can try something out and learn something, then that's awesome, and I will say, because we do have a toaster oven, and I really do love using it for, like, smaller batches of things, and I don't wanna turn on the whole oven for something.
Mhm,
So if we're making, like, appetizers, like, if it's, I don't know, like, mozzarella stick types of things,
mhm,
the toaster oven is very good for that. 'Cause it gets hot faster, it cooks stuff a little faster, and I think, like you said, because it's smaller, it's it's able to do more with fewer things that you're making, I don't know.
yeah, yeah.
Mhm. But yeah, that okay, I understand the appeal of the air fryer now.
Yes.
Especially if you're, like if you're not cooking for, like, a whole big family, if it's just you and your partner or if, you're just doing a girl dinner,
Yeah,
then although I don't know if girl dinners might involve, much less electronics. I feel like a girl dinner is just you open the fridge or the pantry, you see what's there, and you make something with it, and you
yeah.
don't. There's no dicing, there's no frying
Mhm.
of anything, you just
Microwave.
Yep, maybe if you're lucky, there's a microwave involved, but
Yeah, yeah, it's true.
yeah.
Well, we went
Oh,
through a lot of tools today.
we did. I feel like I've learned so much. Thank you for teaching me about air fryers and ways to guard your precious little baby hands against the mandolins and oh, thank you for teaching me.
You're welcome. It's always fun chatting with you about these things.
I know we might even have to do a part 2 because I feel like there are other kitchen implements that we have not covered, especially for baking. So we might need to make this a two-parter. I don't know.
Yes, we didn't even get to ice cream makers.
No, we didn't get to cookie presses or I don't yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot we haven't gotten to.
I think
Yeah.
part 2 might be warranted.
Yes, stay tuned. Who knows when that'll come out, but it
Yeah.
will. But yeah, list off your favorite kitchen appliance, kitchen tool in the comments. Let us know what you couldn't live without. And thanks for listening. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe, but only if you want to. No pressure.
Yes, and also if you have family or friends, who like this stuff, definitely share us. We're on Spotify and YouTube.
Yeah, you are always welcome to come into the cozy kitchen, sit at our table, and just chat a little bit with us. So thank you for joining.
Thank you.
All
Until
right,
next
and we
time,
will,
we'll see you.
yeah, we will see you next time. All right,
Bye.
bye. We're so glad you stopped by. We can't wait to see you the next time we sit by the fire. See you next
Until
time.
next time.